People often say that to get rich, you need to build assets that pay you back over time. These assets could be digital like a website or physical like a rental property. Both of these things can help you get rich, but there are three assets that will make or break your financial future. In this video, I'll show you these three things. If you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button and that little notification bell icon so that you don't miss out on any of our video updates. Plus, it helps us spread the Thrive Wise love to help more people thrive wisely. Now, let's begin. About a decade ago, I started to like books. In particular, I couldn't get enough self-help books because I knew as a teenager that I wanted to be successful one day. Over the years, I read more books than I can count, and I've learned that the books I feel I get the most out of are not the technical ones, but the philosophical ones. Sure, I read books on real estate investment where I learned how to negotiate housing prices and optimize their contracts with renters. But the books that gave me a more holistic view of success were much more informative and helpful. One of the most important things I gained from my reading was that we often convince ourselves that massive success requires massive action, and that is not effective. The book The Atomic Habits by James Clear taught me that improving by 1% isn't particularly notable. Sometimes it isn't even noticeable, but it can be far more meaningful, especially in the long run. You see, being an avid reader has given me this and many other invaluable insights. I used to think my friends would appreciate these teachings as much as I did, but I've come to know that's not really the case. The unfortunate truth is that after individuals finish their formal education, they tend to stop learning as a whole, making it harder for them to take advantage of the wealth of excellent resources available online in the shape of books, courses, and even sites like YouTube. And by restricting their exposure to useful knowledge, they are losing out on the genuine nuggets of wisdom that may change the course of one's life irrevocably. Because of my innate curiosity, I've been able to hone down on the three most important elements for building wealth. Asset number 1. Your mind. I didn't like school when I was a kid. In fact, I just recently talked to my dad and he said that he was surprised by how much schooling I ended up getting, since I used to hate going to school. Now, if you ask my dad for advice, he'll tell you what most people from his generation say, that getting a degree is the way to financial stability, and well, basically, he's not wrong. With my college degree in hand, I was able to get positions with many prestigious companies. Unfortunately, that's as far as we can go in terms of providing financial security for you. And I didn't begin to question the value of my university degree until after I had spent 7 years and tens of thousands of dollars on it. You see, school doesn't do itself any good because it makes you think that learning is boring and hard. Because of this, young people hate school. People don't learn as much in school as they could because they are too busy trying to get a piece of paper called a degree. You have to sit still for 4 years at school to learn in theory what you could learn in 6 months out in the real world. Also, it makes students care more about getting the grades they need to graduate than about learning things that will help them succeed in the real world. I said earlier in this video that many of my friends don't have the same desire to learn as I do. To be honest, I don't blame them, because school kills many people's desire to learn. Not convinced? Then do this. Ask 10 people who graduated from college in the last 10 years how many books they've read, conferences they've been to, or courses they've taken since they stopped going to school. They don't want to spend the time and effort on these things because they don't lead to a degree or certificate. However, if you are serious about reaching your goals in life, you should devote as much time as possible to learning new things and putting them into practice. Unlike traditional schooling, most of this self-study doesn't cost anything. Learning resources such as books from the library, meeting with role models, and YouTube videos are all at your disposal. Since money isn't an issue, there's no reason why you can't start growing your knowledge right now. Asset number 2. Your relationships. You've probably heard of the old saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you wish to succeed in life, you should take this proverb to heart. Years ago, I didn't put much thought into the people I spent time with, and as a result, I spent time with both those who were extremely valuable to me and those who weren't. But as the demands on my time grew and my goals in life evolved, I realized that I needed to be more solid about the people I spend my time with. For example, when I was earning my degree, I spent a lot more time with the students that encouraged me and my studies, and far less time with those who didn't. When I first started my YouTube channel a few years back, gradually I stopped hanging out with idle chums and began hanging out with artists and creators I could bounce ideas off of and learn from. When I think back on my life, I know for sure I would have never been successful if I hadn't hung out with the people I did. Up until now, my academic and business life has been both full of successes and failures. The only reason why I was able to keep going was because I had good people around me. It could be a friend who told me to read a certain book or take a certain class, or a teacher who told me to take one job offer instead of the other. You need to realize that no one person is responsible for your success in business or in life in general. You've made it this far thanks to the guidance, encouragement, and concern of the people who care about you. Hence, if you want to be wealthy, you must value and develop this asset. Keeping in touch with excellent people takes a lot of work. So I make a list of those I want to maintain in my life and make a concerted effort to phone or meet them in person on a regular basis. Establishing connections requires time and energy, just like learning anything new. But if you keep going, you'll get a lot out of it. And now we're down to the last asset. But I would like you to do something for me. Pause this video right now and do me a huge favor by hitting the like button and click subscribe if you are new. If you did, you're awesome, and thank you so much for your support. Rest assured we'll bring you more videos that will help you thrive wisely. And going back, asset number 3, your goals and dreams. Everyone's hopes and dreams are one of the most valuable things they have. Some people want a big house and a fast car, while others want to travel the world and see everything it has to offer. No matter what your goal is, the most important thing is that you keep working towards it no matter what. This is easier said than done. Many people have big dreams, but it's hard for them to find the willpower and determination to start working towards them. The problem is that when they look at their end goal, they see either a long path that seems almost impossible to cross or no path at all. Now, both of these situations have problems, which is why so many people never get started on that path to achieving their lifelong dream. So when you have a long way to go, like building up a big YouTube channel, you might have a good idea of what you need to do to be successful. Obviously, you need to decide what the channel will be about and how you will write and film your videos. You pretty much already know what you need to do to get from where you are now to where you want to be. Now, if you see no path at all, it's a different story. If you don't know how to get to your goals, it can be frustrating and even stop you from getting there. For example, if your goal is to travel the world, you need to find answers to a lot of unanswered questions, like how are you going to get the time off work? How will you pay for your endeavor, and with whom will you go with? In this situation, these roadblocks are just a few questions that need to be answered, but they can be enough to stop you in your tracks and make it hard to reach your goals. Unfortunately, most individuals simply do not have the luxury of procrastinating while working towards such objectives. That's a waste of time in my opinion, since success seldom follows a straight line. All sorts of setbacks and difficulties await you along your path. The greatest time to start working towards your objectives is now, since eventually you will make errors, lose money, be rejected, and experience a roller coaster of emotions along the way. Well, that's basically the 3 assets you need to get rich. And thank you guys so much for watching today's video. And hey, it seems that YouTube thinks that the next video can completely transform your financial situation. Watch it to find out whether they're correct. And please don't forget to click the subscribe button to see more videos on how to thrive wisely. Till next time.